Singene kahle emnyakeni lomusha 2026. My name is Lungelele Makagola. Thank you for waking up with us lomhla ekseni. Kunengiliseni bathele kona lomhla on the program. Sitabe sena Senior Communications Officer from Eswatini TV. Joba, it's the festive season. Dokumela ukuthi njalo ngeminyaka kuba ne festive season change. Kanti ke kulapho ke la kube sekuba nema new programs khona. Umsakazo introduce new programs lataba mnanzi for this festive season. Namcebo utachazela ukuthi ngimaphi lama programs lawo latabe adlala kulo msakazo. And of course kutaba ne schedule change joba lamanye ama programs atawuthi nje kuthatha likhefu lokufaya ekhathi wona ama business shows. Bese ke lolu hlelo losikilo njengoba sobonile ukuthi liqala nga 7 a.m. instead of 6. Ngiyona le schedule change lesikhuluma ngayo leyo. Sithampinze sikhulumisane naye ngema TV license renewals. The deadline is quickly approaching. 31st of December is just right around the corner. So sive siyacela ukuthi siubhadalele umthelo wa 180 malangeni per year with TV license. Tasichazela ukuthi ngabe is there an improvement as what about the compliance regarding TV license payments. And also sitabe sikhulumisana naye on the launch of Bakangwane drama series. Yesterday umsakazo Eswatini TV ubambisene nalamanye ama companies basukumise ngosemthethweni Bakangwane drama series which will air on Eswatini TV next year. Nomcebo Malinga will join us in studio to tell us more about that series. And also later we'll be joined by Mkhuleko Mangwe, also known as Sanchizi, to his fans. He has released a remix of a Siyabonga Gogo featuring Young Zesh, Lodanda, and the Limco Queen Choir. Ingoma ke lena ledlala ubhethu ikakhulukazi nje kulamalanga emunanzi ingoma lena by this young person lobitwa ngaSanchizi. Sifuna kumkhulumisa ke naye about his plans sicala umnyaka lomusha 2026 kuva ukuthi what was his highlights on the year 2025 nekuva ukuthi ngimaphi ama projects that we can anticipate emnyakeni lomusha 2026. And also kuva nje umuvo wakhe ukuthi how has been his whole experience in the music industry solo angena khona. So there's plenty we have for you today on the program, international news as well as local news, so do stay tuned ungayinzawo. Let's go for an ad break nasibuya sithatha indaba desiswati.
This festive season, Eswatini TV brings you exclusive moments from your two biggest events in the Kingdom of Eswatini. Step into the magic of the Bushfire Festival, where culture meets rhythm and every beat pulls you closer to the heart of celebration. Experience the fun from the energetic performance of some of the greatest artists to ever grace our stages. Feel the fire, the color, the movement, as if you are right there in the crowd. Then we take a trip down memory lane with scenes from the spectacular 2025 Mastercard Luchu fashion show under the theme, A Return to the African Future. From bold designs to unforgettable runway moments, this is elegance in full swing. If you're a food lover, enjoy the flavor, the heat, and the passion from Eswatini's top local chefs as they battle it out in the Luchu Cook-Off competition. And elevate your culinary senses with a special masterclass by Chef Onezwe, showcasing technique, creativity, and world-class fare. Catch this exclusive content on Wednesday at 9 p.m. only on Eswatini TV.
Sifenze silemukele nathi indaba liphini landvunankulu umhlonishwa wathu lidlala linxusa emaswati ikakhulukazi bobabe ukuthi banzise uthando nokuthula emakhaya kunciphe kuhluphetana ngedebulile. Liphini landvunankulu lithi tinyenti timvo letibhebhetela lodlame lokufaka ekhatsi tshwala lathi emaswati akakunake.
Sesifile ke kugijima siyobona abantwana labaselene madosa lashayanako ngenza ukuthi umfati sowubalekile. Sithi ke ukuze siqhubeke sibe imindeni lebambene asigweme kwekuthi sithathe timvo leti takwenta kwekuthi bese siphunyukelwa sandla. Siphindze futhi noma ngabe uyeva usobha nje, uyeva ukuthi le mfukuthelo iyagcwala kenyanga ngoba phela nathi sidifengwane empeleni. Ngiyakusola nje Dlamini ukuthi ungathi sewuhamba nalamathe. Uma ubuya lapho encebe kufanele ekhaya ubuye nga-8 ubuye nga-9 ungikhaza vele sengilifu.
ISADC ibambe umhlangano ngendzaba yaseMadagascar yase ikhipha umbiko loveta kugculiseka kwalenhlangano ngekuthula lesekukhona eMadagascar. Lokhu kulandzela umsindvo lobekhona eMadagascar lapho emasotsha lela live agcine sekamemetela ukuthi sengiwo laphethe lela live, kwathi namengameli walo wayawutfola lapho angakhosela khona. Umhlangano lebe ungenelwe baholi bemavela kulesifundza kanye nalabo bebabamele ubuke umbiko lokhishwe libandla lebelibekiwe ukuthi liyawutfola ukuthi eqinisweni yini imbangela yalomsindvo eMadagascar. Labaholi bacele lababuke kushintsha tandla kwemandla eMadagascar ukuthi bende umhlangano welive lonke lotawufana nesibaya nawubuka lapha Eswatini. Labaholi bathi lokhu kutawuba yindlela leya elikhetfweni letawubuyisa nekuthula. Labaholi bagcizelele ukuthi tingucuko letitawendiwa kulela live kufanele kube nguleto lokuvunyelwana engato. Bavetile nekuthi abangavaleleki ngaphandle nalabo labasekudzingisweni kuletinkhulumo. Kuqinisekisa lokhu labaholi babeke lowake waba ngumengameli waseMalawi Joyce Banda kuthi ahole libandla litawusita eMadagascar. Lokhu kutawendeka ngekubambisana nalowake waba ngumengameli weMozambique Joaquim Chissano. Live lakangwane selinemkhombandlela lemibili yekusebenzisana nenhlangano yakamhlaba yetentfutfuko UNDP kanye nenhlangano lebukete kutalana UNFPA yeminyaka lesihlanu. Margaret Stembe lobuke UNFPA lapha iveni uthi loluhlaka lotawubuka kunciphisa tinkinga letfaka ekhatsi kwemitha kwemamfambatana asemancane kanye nekushona kwabomake nababeleka kuleminye imigomo.
Inkinga yethu kakhulu lesiyibone lesikhanze ukuthi bantfwana bayakhulelwa. Ukhona licwanelo lesilentile nje kahoho naselibonjeni sakhanza ukuthi bayakhulelwa, and sathola ukuthi into lento ukuthi bakhulelwe abakhoni lokuthola lolwati nalama-services noma lolusito kakhulu laka-health lokutokhona ukuthi banikete lwati ukuthi bakhona nekuthatha tinhlelo letisite ukuze ukuthi umntwana avikeleke. Lokunye lesithi sitakubuketa kuloko ukuthi baphindze futhi bahlukubeteke ngetelicansi labantwana laba. So nakhona sitawusebenzisana nebaholi bemango ukuthi letindzaba noma ngathi lama-negative social norms singawakhulumisa kanjani emangweni ukuze ukuthi sonke sibe liphoyisa lelitawenda ukuthi umntwana wemfambatana angakhanzi nje sekagagadlelwa bese soyatethwala solahlekelwa ngemathuba sothola nabogconsulu. Lesimo kuhambisana nalokuthi nje mina nginemandla lona ude emandla kakhulu la emntwana wentombatana ukhanza ukuthi ngekweswela lokuthide sengingachamuka nje ningibabe lomdzala ngithi ngingakunetha 20 emalangeni kuze ngithuphile buningi kakhulu lobuswethu lobukhona la kangwane and bantwana labaningi abasebenzi nje nakusebenza so kuba lula lokuthi bese sebayalalwa ngemali lencane. Sithi-ke kuleti nhlelo sademla sifuna lokuthi bafundziseke nje ukuthi no kube nje kuno. Siphinde futhi sibone tinhlelo ukuthi bangayithola kanjani nje imisebenzi but basebenzise lo hlelo lwa-reproductive health ukuze ukuthi bakhone ukuthi bativikele ngelwati nokuthi bakhone nabo ukuthi batiphilise. Lokunye nje lokusihluphako ngibona lo ukuthi munye kulabane umntwana wentombatana uyahlukubeteka and bahlukubeteka ngetecansi. Ngiko nje sithi sifuna kubuka mbhekeni kwekuthi letinhlelo sitigcinisa kanjani la ka-health ngaloko ukuthi umntwana wentombatana angasheshi atethwale ngoba lokuthi atethwale angasiko ready ngibona lokumenta ukuthi abe nemathuba lamaningi ukuthi agcine ashonile. Nekokuthi nje ngabe vele lama-services angileli zinga noma angile quality lefunekako yini.
Emaphoyisa eMmango etindzaweni letahlukene atsi sekanado tinhlelo tekuthi bucala bangabuvikela kanjani ngekusebenzisana nemaphoyisa eMbube neSive. Lamaphoyisa eMmango atsi Sive nasihamba asibike kute batawukhona kunaka kakhulu tindlu talaba labaye emakhaya.
Ngoba in short nje ngicela kusho ngathi selesive emakhaya ukuthi bangamangali emaphoyisa eMmango eMbabane emalokishi onke atabe abhizi endasiqiniseko sokuthi iMbabane yonkhana ayaphela emaholide kude lokhala ukutshelwa ukuthi lokhala gcekezelwa kuba nepeace eMbabane. Cishe naku lokuthiwa ikhefu iba khona ngakuthi kushito uhulumende. Sine simaphoyisa eMmango ngicela kusho siside ikhefu but ukukhona lama-hour wabona ukuthi a-odd ukuthi hayi man wena wabalana ngalesikhathi kwenteke kanjani labo bantu laba siyaba-approacha kahle sibabuthe sikwente kanjani uma bekubonakala impendulo abadivakali bese sicela mane bakhweshe ngani ngoba lokuba khona kwabona emgwaqweni kwentela sinalo umfula uthambelanga uloti inhloso lembi so yesaba ngani ngoba kunebafu labasemgwaqweni ngesikhathi singafanele
labo labahambako ngalabo khisimusi basatise especially labo emabhesika ngoba letigebengu iganga labo emabhesika kakhulu nakule ukuthi iganga kancane kuthi sokhona kubuka le mithi yabo nama-properties abo nabangekho bona kuwavakashela nje kubona okunye besekuhlengile ukuthi nakushaya lesikhathi salamabhara labo 12 siwavalise ngalo kwalo 12 nabantu babe bancane lamgwaqweni umuntu achaze lamgwaqweni ukuthi uyaphi uyawukwentana ubuyaphi siyafisa lokuthi sisibambise ngalo ukuthi nasibona into lekuqala sisheshe sipote sishayele lamaphoyisa eMmango lalandzaweni sowathi kuxhumana nemaphoyisa eMbube ngoba bese bayaphutha lokupota ubona umuntu asawupota ekuseni kanti umonakalo uyambona wenteka nyalo kungaba kusho nje ukuthi vele silungele kububamba bucala lobenteka ngalesikhathi imadi semaholiday aDisemba emaphoyisa eMmango akhona awenda umsebenzi futhi asatawenda kulamaholiday kungaba wexwayisa nje kulabo labatitshela ngokwephula umthetho ukuthi awu abakuyekele mangabe bebacabanga ukuthi bakwende ngoba kesinisi bathatha kanza sebangale kanzi mangabe bangakakwendi sitawuba nabo nangathi simsingala.
I-FNB ibambisene netitolo taka Pick n Pay banikelele litiko letemphilo ngetimphahla letingabita 80,000 emalangeni. Lolu sito lwethulwe nguLinda Zwane lokhulumele umphathi we-Pick n Pay.
Namhla sibona ilanga lelikhulu lapho khona sihlanganyela khona na-FNB sitosita abomake nebantwana. This is very important njengoba bonke la sebakhulumile ngaphambi kwami ba-expressa lo ukuthi the joy meeting someone halfway ukhanze ukuthi khona but sine sesivelile sikhalele sing-FNB sing Pick n Pay saveta ngalo lokuncane.
Tipo leti di demonstrate ukuthi libhange la ka-FNB liyanakekela lapha sibuka kunakekela kwebantfu labangema-customer or potential customers a-FNB lekungomake phindze futhi inakekele ukuthi labantfwana labadelwe bayakhula nabakhula nabo bahlaba ama-customer a-FNB so siyajabula ngalokunakekela lesibonako and ngale sipho futhi lesitfolako lana siyabona ukuthi FNB uyabona kusesikhathi sakhisimusi and kakhisimusi sispreada kuphana spirit sekuphana so siyacela ukuthi nesikhathi lesitabo sesitawuhlala sigadzile silitiko letempilo sithi kunakekela tigulane tetfu noma labadzinga lusito etibhedlela tetfu kuyintfo lemcoka kakhulu and ngiko nisibona sigcwele la sivele kwathi nakuphuma nomlayito vele basukuma bonke labanakekela tigulane tethu bathi angeke sisale kulo msebenzi lomadima lomcoka kangaka especially ngoba akusho ukuthi batithathela bona labetempilo etibhedlela siyayisithi kuba nebantu lokhanza ukuthi naloko sibhadalisa leti madlana tekuthi usitakele esibhedlela bo-10 emalangeni bo-100 emalangeni nawubelekile leto madlana leto yukhanze silomunye yehluleka kukhipha 9 no 100 mhlambe no 150 noma 20 we x-ray but metron uyabe neliso lekuthi Nkosi yami asingamuhluphi lona uyabonakala ukuthi udzinge kakhulu.
Kutemidlalo live leSwatini litawuba ingxenye yemave latongenela imidlalo yemave yabadlali labangephansi kweminyaka lelishumi-nesihlanu letongenelwa ngemave langu-211 langephansi kweFIFA. Lokhu kuvetwe ngumengameli wayo lenhlangano emhlanganweni wetiphatsimandla eDoha ngalesithathu. Satiphetana totemidlalo satsalikhefu sabuya masinyane. All right, so welcome back. Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. This is the Friday edition of Kusile Breakfast Show. We are now joined by Eswatini TV's Senior Communications Officer, Nomcebo Malinga. We are here to talk about three important topics: TV license renewals, ESTVA schedule change, and an exciting one, Bagangwane drama series launch here on Eswatini TV. Nomcebo, very good morning. Thank you for coming through. Exciting one, Bagangwane drama series launch, but let's talk about this one first. ESTVA schedule change. So every festive season, government changes. There's new programs on Eswatini TV. Tell us more about them.
Okay, it's a very exciting times, and I must begin by saying compliments of the season. It's that time of the year.
Yes.
It's Christmas. It's my best season of the year. I love Christmas, so I'm just a sucker for this time, you know, in the calendar. Yes, it's very exciting, you know, as a Swatini TV to announce some really great festive content that we have for the viewers at home. And I know that this is going to be a moment where families are going to come together and watch Eswatini TV, whether you're watching us on YouTube or you're watching us through traditional media. They're going to be thoroughly entertained with the locally produced productions that we have, you know, scheduled for the public or the viewers of Eswatini TV. I want to just start with the obvious one, you know, we're on KBS. KBS, we know that it normally starts airing at 6 a.m. all the way to 8 a.m. because it's festive time and we all need a break, you know, which includes you, Lulu. So this time around, KBS is going to air for 1 hour each day. That's still going to be on Monday to Friday. So it's 1 hour from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. Make sure that you sleep that extra hour and make sure that at 7 a.m. you do switch on your television set. And we also have more lighter content that is going to excite the viewers. In this particular program, the gift of music, you know, attracts the youth. We have to cater for the youth in our programming. We've had quite a number, you know, of concerns that we do not have a lot of pro content that draws the young people. So the gift of music is a program that speaks to that generation, the youth. So this is going to be a 4-part, 1 hour musical series where we'll be interviewing local music artists of Eswatini, just sharing their festive stories, sharing their journeys of our beautiful meal. And this particular program is produced by Elfo, one of our best producers at Eswatini TV. And we also want to do a look back. We want to also keep it music-y, you know, entertainment, you know, while we're at it. We have Luchu and Bushfire. Those two key big events that take place in the Kingdom of Eswatini. So what we have done as an institution, we've taken those two big festivals and we've just made 2 short productions. So this particular program will be airing on Friday at 9 p.m. So I'd like to urge the public to not miss that one. And of course, what is Christmas without cooking? It's all about beautiful meals. So this time around, we have an exciting announcement. We have a show, 4 episodes of Cooking with Courtesy. We all love Courtesy. He's big in the country. He's not only a mentor, he's not only a public speaker, he's not only a doting father and a parent, and quite an inspirational young person. He can cook. So we're going to be watching him cook for us. It's 4 episodes, and this show will be airing every Monday at 5:30 on Eswatini TV. And we also have a very interesting show. I think they were trying to do a remix of WhatsApp, Coca-Cola WhatsApp back then. So there's going to be a show called Christmas What's Up. So what's happening with this show, which is produced by Makwele, they've gone around originally, going around asking people trivia questions about the festive season and about Eswatini TV programming. It's been quite exciting. So we're going to see people from Babane, from the Hoho region, Shiselweni, Bombo. They just went all out. So that's going to be 4 fresh episodes of everyday people interacting with Eswatini TV, just saying what's up to their friends and family and answering those trivia questions. It's going to be a fun one. So that one is going to be on air for 4 episodes from the 25th of December. That is going to be at 10:30 in the morning. Okay. Another exciting one, over the year, when we come to the 31st of July, we normally have a crossover. And over the years, we've been going to the clubs. But this time we thought, you know what, we're a religious country. Let us just change it a notch. Let us have a gospel crossover. So this is an exciting program which is going to be produced by Muzi Gunene. So this is a show that will feature a gospel artist. It'll feature different churches in the kingdom. So they're going to be visiting different churches, and it's going to be a live link throughout all those church services. So that is going to be very interesting. We start that show at 8:30 p.m. and it'll play all the way to 1 a.m. So it's a nice way, we start the year, in prayer, and feeling blessed, so we all feel good, as we move into the new year 2026. So these are some of the exciting programs that Eswatini TV has got scheduled. We know that we cannot go wrong. We also have Christmas carols. We're going to have Christmas carols here and there. We're going to have Christmas movies as well that the viewer can look forward to. And not only just that, because there's also programs that the public love, and I do believe that they wouldn't want to see, such as a car season 2. That one is going to maintain its time slot at Wednesday at 8 p.m. That's not going to change. Dase Parliament, we still need our current affairs. So Dase Parliament is also going to continue its normal slot, which is Monday 9 p.m. And we also going to have our popular EPL, English Premier League. People love their soccer. People at home, they're on a holiday. So every Saturday is definitely going to be an EPL match for the public to enjoy.
All right. I love it. And fish content is just what we need.
Exactly.
Yeah, all right. So moving on to TV license, we're only 11 days away from the deadline, which is the 31st of December. We have been urging Eswatini to pay their TV license fees. Tell us more about the deadline and just the ongoing inspections. What's the feedback? What's the response from members of the public?
Thank you for that very important question. I would say the feedback is really positive. I want to believe Eswatini are really appreciating the responsibility of getting up and going to pay for their TV licenses. As you said, deadline is fast approaching, 31st of December. So I'd like to urge the public to do the right thing, and get up and go and pay your 100 and 180 Emalangeni TV license fee. It's an annual fee. It's only 15 Emalangeni a month. So this really enhances the industry. It enhances the economy. We are talking about this content that we've just been talking about here. This is a type of content that needs, it needs a crew, it needs good equipment. We need to also get it sponsored. So we need to have quality content on our screens. So when you take that responsibility as an individual to get up and just go and do the right thing, as we know, TV license, it really enhances the broadcasting industry. And it just makes you a good citizen as well.
Okay, just before we get into Bagangwane Chama series, is there improvements though in the compliance? Are people forthcoming with paying TV license?
People are forthcoming, but sometimes they need to be slightly forced.
They need to be encouraged by
Yes.
prizes, you know.
Yes, they were
Yeah.
encouraged by prizes. I was very excited because a couple of months ago you did see that we're running a competition and we had quite a number of entrants for that competition. And all of those people that qualified for that competition were TV license payers. Those are people that just came up and made sure that they pay for their TV license. And we had 18 people that won during that TV license competition. That's a big number for us. And those people are drawn from a huge number of entrants, you know, of that particular competition. So that's another way that we try to encourage, you know, the public, you know, to pay for their TV licenses. Just that little incentive goes a long way. But, you know, sometimes it then calls for us, you know, to take certain measures if people do not comply. And, you know, we do not want to get there, you know, as Eswatini TV, where we find ourselves taking each other, you know, to the court, you know, because you haven't been paying for your TV licenses. This goes to individuals and it goes to retailers. So just recently, the team was at Mhlume, where they were actually conducting those inspections. And unfortunately, we found quite a number of people that have not been complying, mainly retailers. So, and individuals, mainly retailers and certain individuals. So they found themselves in court. So we don't want things to get that far. So we like, you know, the public ukuthi batihluphe bona basukume bahambe bayibhadala i-TV license singafikile sigaba sokuthi nyalo sithi asihambe sohlangana enkantolo. No one has to find themselves in that particular space.
All right, Nomcebo, now the final one, quite an exciting one, the launch of Bagangwane. It was a beautiful event yesterday. I do recall the big launch that happened at Julio's Cinema in Manzini.
Yes.
Now, the launch by Eswatini TV. Tell us more about yesterday's event.
Yesterday's event was another historic event in as far as local content is concerned. We were launching a Bagangwane drama series. There's 12 beautiful episodes of that beautiful Eswatini story that outlines ukuthi Eswatini waqala kuphi, you know, sing Swaziland, what defines you as a Swati, you know, buve bethu masiko ethu ukuthi besigcoka ini bese sikhuluma njani siswati. So this is a program that's really going to get us revoke something in us simaswati ukuthi sibobani, siphumaphi, and what do we represent in the continent of Africa. So it was an exciting launch, and we'd like to thank all the ministers and all the important guests that joined us during this particular event. And we'd just like to say thank you, you know, to Honorable Minister Shakantu, you know, who's the executive producer of this particular program. We'd like to, you know, say thanks to Tribe Studios, Eswatini TV, of course, you know, for making sure that we now have locally produced programs on Eswatini TV. So the exciting news is that this drama series will premiere in January 2026.
Yeah, there's no date for now.
No dates for
Yeah,
now.
so abaqhubeke babukele Eswatini TV.
Absolutely.
But awutfoli date kuthi nini. Sitakhona kuyibukela on YouTube, or is it only on DSTV and Skuchana?
It's going to be on DSTV and Sigujana, as well as smart TVs. We'd like to encourage the public. I know the majority of households have got smart TVs now. You can access Eswatini TV if you have a smart TV. The only thing you need is an aerial.
All right, thanks so much, Nomcebo. There you have it, Mazadla Mahle, a new drama series, Bagangwane, itaqala next year, lapha Eswatini TV, njengoba sashitsho Nomcebo, 12 episodes that you can look forward to. So vitile ukuthi itaba mnanzi impela. And of course, we do still remind you ukuthi pay your TV license. 31st of December is approaching. That is the deadline. 180 amalangeni kuphela. Please do pay your TV license. Let's go for a break. Sabiya khona manje.
Ngisalukat lesala kukileng ne macebo. Agenbonge bantfu abanye. Nithi siyabonga salukat. Agenbonge bantu. Nithi siyabonga salukat.
Siyabonga salukat sana. Siyabonga ko. Siyabonga salukat sana. Siyabonga ko. Mina umkhulisele kahle mbali. Shemshelele. Mina umkhulisele kahle mbali. Shemshelele. Ako siyabonga salukat sana. Ekhaya uma lesikotini embuthini emanzi mhlophe thunyeng labadzala bathi kunembali bayibonile ijabulisa umsala kona lentfo kade ihlobile yebusuku akasala batsanedifite emashumi lasihlanu sicela lelitshitshini ngasijikise emuva futse kabi sawubona gogo sidinga le mbali kuyento umfadisi yawumisa umjolo siyacela gogo ukhona umnotho lona namhla siyanaye ekhaya siyacela gogo
Alright, that is Siyabonga Gogo remix by Sanchizi featuring Lord Danda, Young Zesh, and the Limco Queen Choir. He joins us now in studio, Mkhuleko Mango, also known to his fans by Sanchizi. Sanchizi, thank you for coming through to Kusile Breakfast Show. Beautiful song indeed. I actually love the remix, na original yako imnans, but I think the remix faga ingeta angathi nje itaste lemnanzi as you listen to it. But before we get into lengoma yako just chazele ngayo, I think we'd love to know who is Mkhuleko Mango, who is Sanchizi, and how did you come about being in the music industry?
Sibusele thatha wathungusele namaswati nabo bonke lababukelayo like Eswatini TV.
Yeah.
Siyabonga gogo sitawuvela sonzele kuye parike for now Mkhuleko Mango ngumekundvini ekhaya. Lijaha nje lesiswati leli tsandza kakhulu emasiko and lelaba nenhlanhla yokuthi litshelwe ekucaleni ukuthi alikwati ukuhlabela laze lafuna ukuprove ukuthi anana lento ngayenda ngosiyami. Ngitsuke ekhundvini ngathi nje ngumbana Mkhuleko ngumbana lokhuliseke kahle lokhuliswe nje a single parent if I may say. Then Sanchizi is an artist lehlabela traditional or cultural Afropop music. Then salukazana sengilolobe sezofika ke sojabulisa sive ngale ngoma Siyabonga gogo.
Yeah, and imnanzi kakhulu. So yindlela yakwendawo mhlambe ufocus kakhulu ngala ke ingoma leti because you're a young person umva ngatisha nje ukuthi utangenela bo R&B, hip hop, bo kwaito, but when I just decided to focus on traditional music, is it your passion or mhlambe nje khona lo inspiration?
Kuhlabela ngaqala 2016 so ngakuzama lokho konke. Ngakuzama from labo R&B bo hip hop bo Afropop nje babodwa but azange kungisebenzele. So ngathi nangena culture this year and things started lighting up. Maybe ngasho nje ukuthi ngifundela okukhulu ngaloko ukuthi you just need to embrace who you are, embrace and the surroundings around you. I think ngiloko nyalo lengathi kungenda ngibe proud ukuthi bo hip hop ngabazama because ba add something kulo music lesengwenda nyano ngoba nje i-writing yemuntu lohlabele hip hop or i-rap before ufike uyibone iba nako lo msoco nekujula.
So, Jesus, with every project we always anticipate challenges, we also anticipate some successes, some achievements. Ingabe solo wangena nje kula music industry, kukanjani, how's the whole experience, you know, ma challenges mhlambe lo hlangabetana nawo as you make music, ma achievements lo sowentile, ma successes lo wabonako, kukanjani nje your whole experience?
Ngathi kufanana na ungena esikoleni or college ne mina ngithi angeke ngicambe manga nasicabanga ukuthi ngiqale 2016 I did not qala ekhanya 2025 so fanele ngifundzela budokotela musibine.
But you persevered wabeketela so lala ukhona
so ngiyathi nje ama challenges la faka ukuthi kungemukeleke kwalo music lebengwenda before bekuyi challenge lenkulu kuphelelwa imali uya e-studio things not working out kungilobo buhlungu kuhamba niye event niyo performa mahala embakalo webusuku nibe bedena le plan ethi senijika ngane ke ekhaya lawanye ama challenges lesihlangene nawo endleleni nalo ukuthi uhamba lemgwaqeni bakubide ngabo screen that's one of those challenges lesihlangene nawo endleleni.
All right, so now let's talk about your song, Siyabonga Gogo. It's a beautiful song. I actually love the remix more than Lena Loikokile. How did the collaboration come about? Limpopo University, Young Zesh, and Amagelodanda.
Okay, iqala nje nangibitwa elimkokwini for rehearsals in preparations of graduation. Nangena lapha nganza the choir. It just made me believe ukuthi le ngoma ngizolong nema ukuthi mnanzi because the choir yafaka nje another taste lebengakaze ngayicabanga before then ngaba like if it happens ukuthi kube ne remix vele le choir kutomela ngicela.
Okay,
so I practiced like a graduation and went to perform graduation. I think everyone lokhumbula ngelimkokwini graduation there is no way la ngakhumbula ngayo the performance yasiyabonga gogo. There was a choir kwaba nemajala cwebetela kwaba nesibhaca kwaba nengadla you know the whole setup yangenda nga experience the song on its greatest level. So Magelodanda on the other note because solal phupho even noma ngathiwa kule remix angimthola ngavele bengisadomlanzelela for other music maybe coming eminyakeni lotako. Then how can you say kulesikhathi sanyalo you trying to reach a larger audience especially in the hip hop or Afro pop space if you don't include Young Zesh? She's doing an amazing job. So ngaba uthi the management or the team behind my brand I combine konke lo yabuka like okay singete sabathatha laba and futhi ama fans sike let's post ukuthi who do you want on the remix and baba suggest Young Zesh beka one of those leading definitely could have been Baveta Magelodanda but good take it over the Limkokwini choir.
Okay, so as you said 2025 kulapho iminyango ivulekile. So what was your highlight of 2025? I think I saw you performing graduation at UNESCO. What was your highlight of 2025?
Limkokwini did best. It's one that I like. Jesus Christ, that one was the best. We also did a UNESCO graduation. Definitely performing in front of the Majesties that are so now the fact that in front of them 3 times, it's one of those biggest highlights. And going to radio stations, Lafara Cuts, Rise FM, you know, but I'm glad so and even more especially the support that I'm getting from people, it's just something else. Oh, another biggest highlight is being 1KZN TV. Okay. So yeah, that's one of them.
All right, so as we conclude the year, I suppose Guti so vele so planning for next year. My projects in Plambelo office go end next year. Can we expect more music, more features from other artists?
Next year we need to open the year with a music video for Batao Vuma, and then we come again with music video maybe wa Siyabonga Gogo, the remix, and definitely there is much more music coming.
Yeah, we cannot wait for that one. So, any bookings for the festive season? Kusile, go performer, or what are your plans nje for the rest of December?
Yes, December before ukuba sikhathi sami nemndeni. Kepha things have changed. I think we are open for bookings. Sitawuthatha labo lasebasithethe kibo sitabatshela nabashayela ukuthi encisini bekunene selithethe lelo hour lelo, can you try this one? Ngicabanga ukuthi we can't wait to be with Eswatini kule sikhathi semafestival.
Okay, so who do you look up to nje in the music industry, be it local or international artists? Lofisa ukuthi yabona perhaps in 5 years time nami ngifisa kuba mkhulu njengana ngumfana.
Angeke ngidelimate, but I want to do music that the one that I'm doing already. I think it's part of what I want to see myself doing, especially when I see preschool using the song kufundisa abantwana kukitsa during their graduation ceremonies now. It tells me ukuthi I'm at a stage where I inspire so many individuals that I even don't know as far as embracing their culture.
Yeah.
So ngivungathi, what more should I want? But yeah, I know God has plans, so I will just live according to the Lord plan and be open-minded as far as
yeah, as you said, you've been in the game since 2016. So if you were in authority, what would you change in the music industry? As artists, Eswatini, you were right. That's one of the challenges that I face as artists.
Okay, maybe before we go to what can I change, I would advise artists first, can you be honest? And can you associate yourself? Can it be a circle that will be honest with you? Not everyone, even in your circle, would love. So you need to be very picky on who you go with. Secondly, when we come to definitely now system my royalties, what but I think around those music registration and royalties, I think that's what I would push forward to. But mostly, I would ensure that the craft that we have, at least monetized, especially kuma social media, no more to so much reaction and engagement, we're still not getting paid. Now Boga ngema estimates ukuthi kumele ngabe umuntu uthola kanganani. Ngabe anana asina stress ukuthi kusasa kungendeka si-apply imisebenzi.
So Sanchez, how are you marketing yourself? Are you using a social media? Said ukuthi abantu abaningi bayisebenzisa kakhulu social media. Ngimaphi ngitiphi indlela okusebenzisako nje ukuthi ufake your music out there kungabi la Eswatini kuphela, even other countries bawathi music kanje boshido ukuthi Rise FM bakubidile usho kona ukuthi kancane batokwadi ngaphandle uthi marketa kanjani wena ukuze bamvu labaningi bakwadi?
Okay, social media is very key, but you can't be famous on social media and still be a broke artist. That's what I learned. So you just need to go out, visit the stages that you want to perform at. If your audience is in a club, go to the clubs and propose. Treat this as business. If your business is corporate, if your music is corporate, go to the corporate and I want this. Yeah. So I think that's what has contributed more for me as far as getting MR bookings. Clubs. It's because it's okay, now I'm gonna exchange, now I'm gonna interview, now I'm gonna book. But yeah, for the corporate businesses, I've been up and down trying to get those, and I think my management is doing so much pretty well as far as expanding our roots into especially South Africa. Now is the target.
Okay, before I let you go, what are your goals for the year 2026? Ufise kwendani, ufise kuphumelela kuphi esisangena eminyakeni omusha?
Bathi umlomo uyadala ne? Ngasuke ngithi mina ngifisa ukuthola 50,000 TikTok followers kan God bekana 100.
Yeah.
So ngive ungathi let his plan unfold because even lokufika kwami la wasn't by mistake. And I don't know how I got here, but he knows.
Yeah.
So let me just give it to him because nakuqala umnyaka didn't see myself here.
Okay.
So even 2026, I'm not limit uma ngathola nel Grammy, who knows.
Right, it's okay. So when can we expect a music video for Siyabonga Gogo remix?
I don't know.
You work on it next year. Sifuna kuyibona.
Definitely next
Yeah.
year. I know they have sebanawo le plan sebawubhalile, but kusenaloko ukuthi nje kwamele kuphume wabatawuvuma ngoba hey.
Yeah, good kunyan. All right, all the best, Sanchizi Shem. Sasema ukuthi music wakho utawufinyelela kubamfla right and onke amaphupho akho aphumelele. All right, that was Sanchizi. Lo thume kakhulu ngoma lethi Sawubona Gogo. Nyalo kune remix featuring Young Zash, Lo Danda kanye neLimco Queen choir. Imnanzi kakhulu ingoma. Do listen to it. Let's take a break. Sabuya khona manje.
Ekhaya uma lesikotini embuthini emanzi mhlophe thunywe ngilabadzala bathi kunembale bayibonile ijabulisa umzala kona lento kade ihlobile yebusuka kasala Internet kisite mashumi lasihlanu sicela leli kitchen ngasijikise emuva futhi kabi Sawubona Gogo singale mbali kuyento umfadisi yawumisa umjolo Siyacela Gogo, siyacela Gogo ukhona unozo Lona namhla siyanaye ekhaya siyacela Gogo, siyacela
Welcome back. Let's now take a look at international news. Australians gathered at Bondi Beach on Tuesday to mourn victims of a gun attack that killed 15 people attending a Jewish festival at the famous beach. Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese said a father and son who carried out the attack appeared to be driven by Islamic State group ideology.
Hundreds queued to lay flowers and to grieve as the community in Bondi came together in solidarity after Sunday's deadly anti-Semitic terror attack. 15 people were murdered in Australia's worst mass shooting in decades. Many here are in shock at what took place in what is normally an idyllic beach spot.
Our family's distraught at the conversations that I've had with our 9 and 10-year-old around what's taken place here. It's just been so conversations I didn't want to ever have to have.
Among those who came to pay their respects was the Israeli ambassador to Australia.
My heart is torn apart because the Jewish community, the Australians of Jewish faith, the Jewish community is also my community, my people. The people that were brutally murdered here are people that I've known, I've met.
Those behind the massacre were likely inspired by Islamic State, according to Anthony Albanese, the Australian Prime Minister. Authorities on Tuesday promised to introduce stricter gun control and tackle anti-Semitism through education. Albanese said it was a time for the country to come together.
My message to Jewish Australians is that we stand with you as a nation. We embrace you at what is a terrible time. These anti-Semitic terrorist attacks will not be successful with their objective, which is to divide us as a nation. We will continue to come together as a nation and to embrace each other.
Sydney's Opera House lit up with a menorah as a symbol of resilience and the decision to stand with one another.
The Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky and U.S. negotiators are meeting in Berlin on December 15th after 5 hours of talks the day before. The U.S. grows increasingly pressed to end the 4-year war. The peace negotiations continue with territorial concessions to Russia remaining the potential sticky point for Ukraine. Kyiv also seeks to obtain security guarantees from Europe and Washington if needed, at the expense of dropping Ukraine's bid to join NATO.
With a firm handshake, German Chancellor Friedrich Merz welcomed President Zelensky on Sunday, spearheading European efforts to support Ukraine's position as Washington pressures Kyiv and Moscow towards a US-brokered peace deal.
The meeting in Berlin between President Zelensky, Special Envoy Witkoff, Jared Kushner and delegations from the United States and Ukraine lasted over 5 hours. Representatives held in-depth discussions regarding the 20-point plan for peace, economic agendas and more.
Donald Trump has tried to navigate demands from each side for months. In November, the US put forward a peace plan which European leaders considered favorable to the Kremlin. A sticky point for Ukraine in the proposed text is the Donbas region. Vladimir Putin demands Ukraine cede all territory and withdraw its forces, a key condition for peace. But President Zelensky is calling on the US to instead support a ceasefire that freezes the current front line, avoiding a full surrender of the region. A point which European leaders are expected to discuss in their meeting.
We want lasting peace in Ukraine. Difficult questions lie ahead, but we are determined to move forward. Ukrainian interests are also European interests.
Kyiv also seeks to obtain security guarantees from Europe and Washington, if needed, at the expense of dropping Ukraine's bid to join NATO. Moscow has framed Ukraine's NATO ambitions as a major security threat and one of the reasons for its February 2022 offensive. In Kyiv, Ukrainians remain doubtful that a NATO entry would provide security guarantees.
Many security guarantees were given, and what came of it? We're being killed, and we've been left without homes. Perhaps NATO will help us in some way, but I doubt they will.
For its part, Moscow has already dismissed initial amendments to the US peace plan proposed by Kyiv last week.
Brazilian President Lula has warned the EU to sign the long-delayed EU-Mercosur trade deal now or risk losing Brazil's participation altogether. France and Italy are blocking progress over concerns about protecting their agricultural sectors, while supporters such as Germany and Spain argue the deal would boost EU exports and strengthen Europe's global trade position.
Days before the EU-Mercosur trade deal was set to be signed, a divided EU may once again delay the agreement. Brazilian President Lula threatened the bloc, saying it was now or never.
I've already warned them, if they don't sign now, Brazil will not sign any more agreements while I am president. We've been waiting for this agreement for 26 years. And this agreement is more favorable for them than for us.
France has long been asking to delay the signing, citing concern that the agreement could threaten the French agriculture sector. The country is currently grappling with protests by farmers, who are pressuring the government to take a more protective stance.
If the European Commission wishes to force things through at the end of this week and proceed to a vote, France will vote against the Mercosur agreement.
Italy joined the camp on Wednesday, making an agreement even less likely.
We believe that signing the agreement in the coming days is still premature. For us, it is necessary to wait until the package of additional measures to protect the agricultural sector is completed.
Proponents of the agreement, including Germany, Spain, and the Nordic countries, are eager to sign a deal with Mercosur. They argue that a boost in EU exports would insulate Europe against US tariffs and allow European exports to compete with Chinese goods in South America. German Chancellor Friedrich Merz said he would push intensively for a sign-off by the end of the year. Brussels has also insisted that the deal must pass, calling it a matter of EU credibility.
Britain and the European Union agreed on December 17, 2025 to allow UK students to rejoin the bloc's popular student exchange program, Erasmus Plus, from 2027, a small but symbolic sign of improved relations after Brexit.
Young Britons will once again be able to study in the European Union without paying extra fees, with the United Kingdom set to rejoin the bloc's Erasmus exchange program in 2027. It's a prospect welcomed by students at Manchester University.
It would give me an advantage against other students, also being able to explore and also learn different cultures and different ways of working.
I think it's important to have closer ties to the EU because you have more opportunity there. It would be so much easier to move abroad and to experience a different life outside of England.
Under the scheme, which is to be known as Erasmus Plus, the UK will receive a 30% discount on the EU's current deal, meaning it will contribute the equivalent of €650 million to the programme for 2027 to 2028. The government says up to 100,000 people could benefit in the first year.
Will open up world-class opportunities for students, teachers, youth workers, sports sector professionals and communities of all ages.
In turn, students in the European Union will also be able to study in the United Kingdom under the programme. EU Chief Ursula von der Leyen hailed the deal as another step forward in renewing the EU-UK partnership.
Bringing back Erasmus Plus for our young people, opening the door to new shared experiences and lasting friendships.
Britain left Erasmus after Brexit in 2020, with the former Conservative government claiming it did not offer good value for money. Since then, European leaders have long viewed the UK rejoining the scheme as crucial to improving relations.
Thousands of tents housing displaced Palestinians across the Gaza Strip have been evacuated after heavy rain and strong winds battered the area. Witnesses say that earlier Tuesday, hundreds of Palestinians sought shelter from the storm among the ruins of buildings in Gaza City.
When Storm Byron hit Gaza, its wind and rain wrought havoc. Residents clung to their tents to no avail under the extreme conditions. Mahmoud has been living in a room in the shelled-out Gaza City building with 11 other people because they have no other place to go. The war-battered structures, together with extreme weather, have produced another imminent threat.
When we hear about a house collapsing on its residents because of the rain, we go to sleep feeling anxious, because our house is also at risk of collapsing due to the rain.
His fears are well-founded as the death toll continues to rise from unsafe falling buildings and the effects of the cold. Meanwhile, in Khan Yunis, aid groups try to feed residents as best they can.
More than 15 or 20,000 people come to this place each day to eat from this charity kitchen, which was established through efforts of individuals and local charities. The food is distributed free of charge to people who do not have basic necessities in their tents.
Though formidable, the effort pales in comparison to the needs of residents, as they're not even sure to get a meal.
It takes me about 6 hours to get a bite of food. Sometimes I'm lucky and I manage to bring food back to my family, but other times I get nothing and I return empty-handed.
The UN announced on Monday that an estimated 1.3 million people in the Strip are in need of shelter and warned of the increasing risk of hypothermia from winter conditions. Needs continue to outpace the ability of humanitarian groups to respond in light of ongoing obstacles. The groups themselves continue to highlight that Israel is not allowing enough aid to enter into the enclave.
2 minutes before 8 o'clock, we wrap our international news. We quickly go for an ad break. Stay with us. Thank you for joining us. We hope you'll have a beautiful weekend. Stay blessed. We'll see you on Monday. Stay blessed.